Good morning. President Sullivan, faculty, guests, and the class of 2014, welcome to Valedictory Exercises. We've made it. It's finally time to celebrate, to walk the lawn, and to see all of our hard work rolled into a scroll in the form of a college degree. Tomorrow, we'll wake up and pass these colonnades like we've done hundreds of times before. But this one will be different. We'll wear black robes and a tassel on a hat. We'll hold balloons, hold hands, and grasp tightly to the last moments of our undergraduate careers. We'll wear the honors of honor and graduate from Virginia. I'm terrified. If we're being honest, I was dreading this weekend for a while now. It's scary because we're entering a whole new world of unpredictability, armed with little to no guidance on how to navigate through it. I mean, all our lives we've been following a structure, this kind of playbook, if you will, that outlined our next move in the academic game. From high school to middle school to college, it all just made sense. But now what? Where do we go from here? It's like we're flipping through this playbook and quickly realizing that there's no clear-cut diagram of just X's and O's anymore. The ready-made plays have run out, and nothing we've seen perfectly describes this situation that we're in. Well, as any great quarterback can tell you, when faced with the unexpected, it's time to call an audible. It's time to adapt. You have to make a game-time decision and just move forward. Now, as any great quarterback can also tell you, this isn't easy. It takes months, no, years of practice. And that's what scared me about this weekend. I thought I was deviating from the playbook for the very first time. But here's the thing. Here's what I've realized. We've been doing this all along, and our UVA experience trained us for this day. Think back to first year. When we got here, we all had ideas about what we wanted to be and what the UVA experience was supposed to be. Study in Clark, join a secret society, live on or at least streak down the lawn. We came to orientation expecting to receive yet another playbook detailing all of the necessary routes to get us there. What we got was advice about different roommates and a colorful card teaching us how to calculate VAC. What we really needed was a manual on how to survive an earthquake and reinstate your president in 10 easy steps. But who could have seen any of that coming? We had no way of preparing and yet rose to the challenge time and time again. Our game time decisions became some of our greatest, and they allowed us to champion the things that mattered to us the most. We supported President Sullivan. We gave back to Access UVA. We helped save the Magnolias for a year. But without any concrete guidelines, complacency was never an option for us. And we continued to make the longest standing traditions better, whether through an honor referendum or thousands of colored lights. While the new and unimagined challenged us, it rewarded us just the very same. We expected great things from UVA sports, but 4 years ago could have never predicted a #1 seed backed by the #1 student section in the country. We expected great things from our friends, but we watched them exceed those expectations as they became entrepreneurs, Olympians, and Rhodes Scholars. So why should I be terrified? Why should any of us be scared? We've become professionals at rising to a challenge. That's been our UVA experience. To talk about our class's experience, you can't talk about a ready-made book of plays that we all followed together. You have to talk about 3,500 real-time audible decisions that got us right where we are and will continue to get us where we're going. They'll take us to corporations in the Peace Corps, law school, and med school, across the United States and to every corner of the globe. So embrace the audible. Embrace the unexpected. And when you find yourself at a new crossroads, like tomorrow, take comfort in the fact that your greatness comes from game time decisions. Take comfort in the fact that you've done this before. And take comfort in the fact that even though it seems like everything around you is changing, some things will always stay the same. Because no matter what city you'll live in or what language you'll speak, Wahoo-Wah won't need a translation. Thank you, and welcome. I would now like to introduce Bill Wilson, who will present the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Awards.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Each year, the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award Committee selects one man and one woman from the graduating class who best exemplify the highest qualities of Algernon Sidney Sullivan's life. The committee also selects an individual from the university community whose compassion, service, and influence is widely acknowledged and appreciated. All of the recipients of this award possess fine spiritual qualities, practically applied in their daily living. They are distinctly defined by their acts. Their deeds are not spent on their self-interest, but rather in the interest of community and humankind. They represent our highest ideals and our very greatest hopes. I would ask you to please hold your applause until I have read all three citations. Our female Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award recipient is Emily Renda, a strong young woman of unwavering integrity and great compassion, known by many for her extraordinary commitment to education about and prevention of sexual violence, specifically sexual assault and dating violence. Through both her academic work and her service to the University of Virginia and surrounding Charlottesville communities, Emily has shown a passion for research and education that works toward the goal of ending sexual violence. Emily's advocacy work led her to intern at the University Women's Center and to serve on the Sexual Misconduct Advisory Council, a vice presidential committee that assesses the university's response to sexual violence and makes recommendations for improvements. Emily leads from knowledge and from clear judgment. She talks about difficult issues convincingly and with the facts, reaching out to those who approach things differently, extending a hand and offering to build bridges in an effort to create a shared vision. When the university hosted a national conference this year, it was called Dialogue at UVA, Sexual Misconduct Among College Students, Emily was a tremendous contributor and participant, providing insightful, sometimes feisty, commentary to create connection and understanding around this important issue. Emily's intelligent, thoughtful, and passionate voice was heard all the way to Washington. Just days after the conference, she was summoned by the White House to speak to a special session of the President's task force to end sexual violence on college campuses. And a second invitation soon followed. Because of her advocacy work and her candor, many students seek her out for advice and support. She leaves the university having taught us many lessons, but her greatest lesson is what true grace and dignity look like. For this and for much more, she is so aptly recognized as this year's Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award recipient. Even those who know Michael Bugis, our male Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award recipient, well might have trouble summarizing the impact he's had on his 4 years at the University of Virginia. They know that he is conscientious and thoughtful, that his lawn room door is always open, and that he would prefer not to talk about himself or his achievements. What they might not know is just how broad and varied Michael's contributions have actually been. He approaches everything he does with uncommon commitment to and awareness of the needs of others. The result is a string of deeply impacted individuals and communities related only by the influence Michael has had on each one of them. Michael has a gift for understanding and working to address the needs of the communities around him, whether offering guidance to incoming first-year students as a summer orientation leader, or working to introduce sustainable cooking methods to rural South African communities through his Jefferson Public Citizens Grant. Michael's tendency to go out of his way to help others is deeply ingrained in his character. But Michael does more than simply help those around him. He assumes the burdens of others as his own, and he throws himself completely into the work of easing them. Perhaps nothing illustrates Michael's character better than his relationship with his little brother, whom he adopted through Madison House Big Siblings program. Over the last several years, Michael has been so much more than a volunteer mentor to his local Charlottesville elementary school student. He has served as a friend, as a role model, and as a disciplinarian at times, going so far as to attend his little brother's parent-teacher conference at school in order to ensure he was supporting his development in the most thorough and effective way possible. Michael's approach to his relationships speaks to his dedication to the people and causes he cares so much about. He is not someone who does anything halfway. Michael leaves the university having modeled what it means to be a mature, humble, and conscientious student leader. For this, and for his many outstanding qualities, we are honored to present him with the 2014 Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award. For nearly 2 decades, Aaron Lway, this year's community recipient of the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award, has been a fixture in the university's Office of the Dean of Students, working tirelessly behind the scenes to care for those around him. Aaron Lway's commitment to the university students is deep and it is unwavering. Whether counseling individual students in the wake of a personal crisis, or supporting our student athletes, or helping to guide the graduate student experience, or even in easing tensions around hot-button university issues, Aaron approaches his work with extraordinary compassion and dedication. In many cases, Aaron gets to know students under unusually difficult circumstances, during a hospital stay, or in the wake of the death of a parent, or in the midst of an emotional breakdown. These are intense and vulnerable moments for our students, and Aaron has a gift for handling them. When he meets with students grappling with difficulties, he builds trust and takes sincere interest in their lives, intervening where needed, but more often guiding them to make their own decisions. Aaron looks at this work as his responsibility as a contributing member of the university community, a community of care, respect, trust, and honor. But if you were to walk with Aaron across the grounds, his trademark white hair, a beacon, and his beloved dog often in the lead, you will begin to understand. No matter his deadline, there is always time for a few words about the day's news, last night's sporting event, or even a reassuring hug. In helping to advise class councils, or working through tough situations with a student, or serving as a personal mentor, Aaron Lway shows a profound understanding of and commitment to the university way, including its traditions, its language, its deep respect for students, and student self-governance. He takes personal responsibility for helping students to understand the consequences of their actions, often embracing missteps as opportunities to help them learn from their mistakes. For his steadfast dedication to the university community and to our students, Dean Aaron Lway is a most deserving community recipient of the 2014 Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present the 2014 Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award recipients. Would you please come forward, please?
Good morning. At Valediction each year, the Seven Society presents two unique awards, the Lewis A. Honesty Memorial Scholar Athlete Award and the James Earl Sargent Award, which are given annually to an outstanding student athlete and a student organization that make major contributions to the university community. This year, the Lewis A. Honesty Memorial Scholar Athlete Award recipients are Joe Harris and Akil Mitchell. Both sociology majors in the College of Arts and Sciences, Joe and Akil played on the men's varsity basketball team all 4 years at the university. Joe is ranked first all-time at Virginia in games played and second in three-pointers and three-point percentage. Akil pulled down the 7th most rebounds in Virginia history and was named to the All-ACC defensive team this season. Joe and Akil both led the team and Wahoo Nation to the Sweet 16 in this year's NCAA tournament. However, Joe and Akil were more than just athletes. They're outstanding off the court as well. Humble leaders of this student body, Joe and Akil were friends to many and leaders to all. This past semester, Akil served as one of President Sullivan's interns, pursuing independent research and contributing to the operations of the President's office. Joe and Akil are both very engaged with every aspect of university life. They are also great friends. In the words of Tony Bennett, their coach, Joe Harris and Akil Mitchell are two of the finest young men I have ever coached. They represent everything that is right about being a student athlete and men's basketball player at the University of Virginia. They are passionate, team-first players who cared about building our program into a winner. Joe and Akil did a tremendous job leading us to the ACC regular season title and first ACC tournament championship since 1976 this past season. I'm certain they will be terrific ambassadors for our program. For their personal, academic, and athletic achievements and contributions to this university, I'm honored to present the Lewis A. Honesty Memorial Scholar Athlete Award to Joe Harris and Akil Mitchell. Unfortunately, Joe is currently in Chicago participating in an NBA pre-draft combine. But here with us today is his father, Mr. Joe Harris. Mr. Harris and Mr. Mitchell, please come forward. Next, I will present the James Earl Sargent Award. The James Earl Sargent Award this year goes to the Minority Rights Coalition, or MRC. The purpose of the MRC is to provide support and a voice to its members, create a greater understanding of minority communities, and advocate for issues and needs of the minority community at UVA. The MRC is an umbrella coalition, including 7 constituent organizations. Working with these organizations, the MRC creates various programs and initiatives to further develop each community and foster greater cooperation between minorities and the university community at large. This year, the MRC has focused on expanding its reach to the university community and created publicity, event planning, and advocacy committees as an extension of the existing MRC executive and governing boards. The MRC has held and co-sponsored events to promote dialogue across different facets of the university, amplify minority voices, discuss the history of minorities at UVA, advocate for minority representation, address decreasing minority percentages on grounds, advocate for Access UVA, and much more. Accepting the award on behalf of the Minority Rights Coalition is Haya Yesh. Haya served as president of the MRC this past year and is a graduating 4th-year student. Haya, please come forward to accept this award.
Each year, the trustees of the graduating class bestow 3 awards upon graduating students who have contributed significantly to the university. The award for community service, the award for cultural fluency, and this year, the award for the unsung hero. Since 1993, the trustees of the graduating class have recognized one graduating student who has made service central to his or her life through a commitment to bettering the lives of others and inspiring peers to do the same. This year, we are honored to present the award for community service to Walter Huang. As Secretary of Circle K International, CKI, this charitable young man not only participated in every one of the weekly service events held by CKI, but he was also the driving force behind these events. Some of the volunteer activities he generously contributed to included maintenance of the highway adopted by CKI, nursing home visits, Habitat for Humanity builds, post-football game recycling, Ronald McDonald House renovations, Salvation Army item collecting, and the Breakfast with Santa event for underprivileged children in the Charlottesville community, just to name a few. At events, he was the first one there and the last one to leave, always participating with an infectious enthusiasm and passion that inspired other members to serve with the same determination and positive attitude. He was so devoted to the selfless service of others that when he was not serving, he was brainstorming and planning new events for the club to engage in, and often spent his weekends at homeless shelters or cleaning up a local highway. He constantly went above and beyond his duties as secretary to make sure no project was left undone and each one was carried out to reach its full potential. It is only fitting that Walter plans to join the Kiwanis Club of Charlottesville, which sponsors CKI at UVA, after graduation to continue his love of service. We would like to thank you for your generous contributions to the university and the greater Charlottesville community, and commend you for your selfless service. Will you please come forward to accept the award? Since 1996, the trustees of the graduating class have recognized one graduating student who has demonstrated an understanding of and appreciation for cultural and intellectual diversity during their time at the university. This year's award goes to Rachel Diniega. Rachel passionately engages the world around her on many levels across numerous disciplines. As an environmental sciences and global development studies double major, she has spent significant time abroad in Mongolia and Jordan, while also serving as a Jefferson Public citizen in Tajikistan. Here at UVA, she was co-chair of the Peer Advising Family Network through the Office of the Dean of Students, outreach liaison for the International Studies Office, and a volunteer tutor for the international students. She demonstrated her cultural fluency firsthand while working on her impressive research paper, The Effect of Climate Change on Mongolian Herding Communities, developing an extensive awareness of the role her translators played and an appreciation for the boundaries and cultural dynamics of the research project. While in Tajikistan for another project with a team of UVA undergraduates, she found herself trying to salvage an emotionally difficult situation and mend an intercultural relationship between UVA and our global Tajik partners. When faced with challenges, her admiration for and understanding of other cultures have helped promote alliances and the interconnectedness of diverse countries. With such a deep involvement in cultures around the globe, it is only appropriate that she will spend the summer on a critical languages scholarship for Bangla in Bangladesh, followed by a one-year appointment as presidential intern with the Research Institute for a Sustainable Environment at American University in Cairo, Egypt. The world will definitely be a better place with ambitious people like Rachel Diniega. Rachel, will you please come forward to accept the award for cultural fluency? Every year, the trustees of the graduating class have the ability to create an award to represent a core value that characterizes the class. This year, the award for the Unsung Hero was established with the intent of recognizing a graduating student who has contributed much to our class and the university community without seeking recognition or reward for his or her good deeds. This year's award goes to Andrea Zimmerman. Andrea's sincerity and humility have made an impact on the lives of many students, faculty, and friends throughout the past 4 years. She has been guided by a genuine and authentic desire to learn and to make a difference. Some of her many involvements include actively seeking to make UVA a non-judgmental and supportive community through sustained dialogue and dialogue across grounds, bringing attention to issues of social reform with UF-USED, United for Undergraduate Socioeconomic Diversity at UVA, furthering inclusivity of students and professors through College Council, tutoring with Madison House, and rallying to restore Access UVA. Outside of UVA, she has been the lead counselor at Camp Herlick in upstate New York the past 3 summers, serving underprivileged urban youth, and has formed lasting and trusting relationships with the kids. But even more telling of her caring and selfless character was her role in the jointly taught UVA and Charlottesville High School class entitled Becoming a Global Citizen. Through her work with the high school AP Honors and immigrant students, 2 groups who seldom interacted prior to participating in the Action Research Project, she demonstrated her dedication and commitment towards social justice and equity, while encouraging and inspiring her students to engage in real-world problems. She has served as a supportive role model who appreciates diversity and empowers others to reach their full potential. Andrea, your willingness to consistently put others before yourself while never asking to be recognized has been greatly admired, and we have all benefited from your contributions to the UVA and Charlottesville communities. With utmost respect, the award for the Unsung Hero goes to Andrea Zimmerman. Will you please come forward to accept the award?
To the graduating class of 2014, the Society of the Purple Shadows expresses its most sincere congratulations. From this day onwards, the words of James Hay Jr. will hold special meaning. Quote, "You may say in reverence and thankfulness, I have worn the honor of honors. I have graduated from Virginia," unquote. The Society was founded to recognize those individuals who selflessly contribute to the university's betterment, to advocate vigorously for those institutions that make the student experience so uniquely meaningful, and to comfort those individuals who experience hardship. It is in this spirit that the Society presents the Gordon F. Rainey Jr. Award for Vigilance to the Student Experience. With great pride, the Society announces this year's recipient, Mr. John Griffin. Mr. Griffin, over the course of his relationship with the university, has demonstrated a passion and appreciation for the school that has forever changed Mr. Jefferson's University. As an undergraduate, Mr. Griffin cultivated his love for the university as a passionate member of the University Guide Service, able to act as an ambassador of the university to countless potential students. It was not long into his life as an alumnus that Mr. Griffin began to impact student life through direct and indirect acts of incredible generosity. While his gifts varied, each was characterized by a selfless devotion to the school and to the students, each made with no thought of recognition or reward. His contributions to the McIntire School of Commerce are alive in every aspect of the school, from the building itself to the McIntire Investment Institute to the classes he teaches as an adjunct professor. Indeed, there are few individuals who have given so much of themselves to the university. Mr. Griffin's latest act is no exception to this record of remarkable donations to the university and has already begun to drastically impact the student experience. His challenge grant represents an incredible gift and will invariably improve the university's accessibility, evidenced by the first class of Blue Ridge Scholars set to begin enrollment in the fall. His exemplary leadership will undoubtedly continue to impact the university for years to come. John Quincy Adams once wrote, quote, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader," unquote. Mr. Griffin, you are by this definition the epitome of a leader. As your persistent demonstration of compassion for students at the university proves, you are a rare individual with the capacity to understand and appreciate others and to provide for them. For this and all that you continue to do for her students, the university is proud to call you her own. The Society of the Purple Shadows. It is my great personal pleasure to ask John to come up to receive his award.
We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Good morning, class of 2014. I wanted to start off with this quote by Winston Churchill because I believe it perfectly captures what the class giving campaign is all about. My co-chair, Christine Payeski, and I are about to do something we've been waiting to do all year. We're really excited. We are here to present the 2014 class gift. As you've heard, class giving is a campaign to motivate, inspire, and educate our fourth-year class on the importance of giving back, both now and in the future. Can everyone who has participated in the class giving campaign this year please stand up? Do it. Stand up. There are a lot of you. It's incredible. Incredible. Okay, stay standing, stay standing. So, or not, anyways. Class of 2014, we beat the record. Actually, we overwhelmingly beat the record. The previous record for class giving was set last year, with 68% of the class of 2013 giving back. But now, we have the highest participation rate from any fourth-year class, with 81% of students participating. It's incredible. It's incredible. This means that over 2,700 of our classmates, all of you who just stood up, have made a gift or a pledge to the university this year. It is truly remarkable. Let's give these individuals one more round of applause.
On behalf of the university, we want to say thank you. Let's go over this year in review. Starting at our class welcome back dinner and school competitions in the fall, to cap and gown week and our thank you dinner in the spring, we received gifts of all sizes, each one critically important to the success of the university and overwhelmingly valued by every organization that received monetary support. We hope this tradition of giving back is something for which our class will always be remembered, and that we continue our record participation in the future as alumni. We want to ask each of you to strongly consider giving back to this wonderful place on a regular basis. As you have heard from deans, professors, presidents of CIOs, and trustees of scholarship throughout the year, every gift has a profound impact. President Sullivan, on behalf of the class of 2014, we want to present to you a check for $168,686. This gift from an unprecedented 81% of our class who participated in the fourth-year class giving campaign. Congratulations, class of 2014, we did it.
You did do it. Thank you, Ms. Baumer and Ms. Payeski, the trustees and members of the class of 2014. You have hit it out of the ballpark. I'm very grateful for your generosity and for the many ways in which your gift will enhance the university. Trustees of the class of 2014 are continuing the one-year undesignated gift program adopted by the class of 1997. The class gift has become a tradition here. This program offers each student the opportunity to make a cash gift and to direct it to the areas of the university most meaningful to him or to her. More than 400 programs have benefited from the generosity of this class. This giving is broadly distributed across the university. This year, the class gift will benefit a wide range of programs and institutions, including 7 schools: the College of Arts and Sciences, Engineering, Commerce, Education, Architecture, Nursing, and the Batten School. The University Library, Madison House, the Office of African American Affairs, the Women's Center, the Fralin Museum of Art, 50 sorority and fraternity foundations, and more than 250 student organizations. The Virginia Athletics Foundation, the Rotunda Renovation Project, which will bring much-needed repairs to the centerpiece of the university, and Access UVA, the university's financial aid program. Of the 2,737 members of the class who participated in the class giving program, 18%, 480 students, designated at least part of their commitment to access UVA, totaling just over $12,000. You seem to be following John Griffin's great example. This class gift will leave an enduring mark. It will strengthen us and remind us of the generous spirit of the class of 2014. I am very grateful, and I hope your interest in and support for these programs will continue through the years. Among the many events scheduled this weekend are ROTC commissioning exercises. Members of the class of 2014 who have chosen to serve our country in the Army, Marines, Navy, and Air Force have received their commissions this morning. There will be a joint commissioning ceremony for all of them later this afternoon. When you see our graduating students in uniform today, I hope you will congratulate them and thank them for their willingness to serve our country. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate this important milestone for our students.
Some 1,363 days ago, we first stepped foot on these beautiful grounds as wide-eyed first years moving into our dorms. We seemingly brought everything we owned, only to send most of it back home since it didn't fit in our dorms. A few days later, we stood on this very lawn facing the rotunda where we were told we were about to embark on a journey that would forever change our lives. We were told the strangers around us would become our family, that we would create memories that would last a lifetime, and that our time here would fly by. That all happened. But the last 4 years wouldn't have been possible without the help of the people in our lives. On behalf of the class of 2014, I would like to extend my gratitude to some of the people and things that helped us along the way. First off, thank you to the wonderful staff at Peabody. If it wasn't for you reading all our applications and thinking we were worthy enough to be Wahoos, we would have never made it here. A special thanks to the entire Office of the Dean of Students staff, especially Dean Lway and Dean Groves, for always being there for us and supporting our events. Thank you, Charlottesville, for allowing us to live and enjoy a city consistently ranked as the #1 place to live in the United States. From eating at some of the most mouth-watering restaurants to hiking some of the most beautiful trails and mountains, you gave us the opportunity to be a part of this amazing community. A long overdue thank you to those who cleaned up after us. From the plates and glasses in the dining halls to the mess in our dorm lounges, classrooms, libraries, and all around grounds, thank you. Thank you for making this university the most beautiful school in the world. Thank you, CavMan, the Cavalier Marching Band, and the members of the #1 student section in the country. You helped us cheer on our Who's and carry the spirit of our university wherever our teams went. A special thanks to the women's swimming and diving team, the women's rowing team, the men's and women's tennis teams, and the men's basketball team for bringing home ACC championships and allowing us to enjoy in your successes. Thank you, alumni of the University of Virginia. You paved the road for us. The traditions you established, the advice you shared, and the love you shown for the students at this university set an example for us to follow. Tomorrow, we're excited to join you as graduates of this special place, and we'll pay it forward to the next generation of students lucky enough to call this place home. Our most sincere thank you goes to the faculty, administrators, and staff at the university. You are at the core of what makes this place so special. You challenged us to think beyond what we were used to. You made us work harder than what we may have wanted to. You gave us the opportunities to explore our interests, and along the way, helped us reach your high standards. You've prepped us well for the next chapter of our lives. Thank you, President Sullivan, for sharing your time at the university with us. You opened your home to us, genuinely tried to get to know us, and supported our endeavors. You came to the university with us, and we're proud to call you a member of the class of 2014. Thank you to the people that have been with us since the day we've been born. Thank you to our parents and our family for everything you've done to help us get here. Even though it may seem like over the years that we've gotten involved and forgotten about you, we haven't. We love you. And we'll always love you for the sacrifices you made to help us get here. You played the biggest role in shaping us into the people we are today. We'll forever be grateful for the opportunity that you gave us to come to this amazing institution. Finally, thank you, class of 2014. We did it. We were classmates, hallmates, suitemates, roommates, teammates, best friends, and more. We grew up together, and we were with each other through all the ups and downs. We learned from each other and became one big family. Tomorrow, we'll walk this lawn one last time as undergraduates, but it won't be our last time together. For no matter where life takes us, we'll always remember the friendships, lessons, and bonds we've built here, and we would always be the University of Virginia, class of 2014. Thank you.
Good morning, class of 2014, faculty, and guests. My name is Sarah Salinas, and as this year's graduation chair, I have the privilege of introducing our Valedictory Exercises speaker. Denver Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning has established himself as one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. The highlights of his career are nothing but extraordinary. He is the league's only 5-time MVP and a 13-time Pro Bowl pick. He claims the second most wins, passing yards, touchdown passes, completions, and attempts by any NFL quarterback. As first overall draft pick in 1998, Mr. Manning joined the Indianapolis Colts after graduating with honors from the University of Tennessee. During his first year, he set 5 different NFL rookie records, including most touchdown passes in a season, and was named to the NFL All-Rookie First Team. In 2006, he led the team to its first Super Bowl victory in 36 years. After missing the 2011 season due to a neck injury that many speculated might end his career, Mr. Manning joined the Denver Broncos in 2012 and finished the season as a runner-up for the league's MVP. In 2013, Mr. Manning was named the league's MVP after having the best statistical season by any quarterback in NFL history. Mr. Manning is a true example of excellence, humility, and character, both on and off the field. In 1999, just 1 year after joining the NFL, Mr. Manning founded the Payback Foundation to promote the future success of disadvantaged youth by providing leadership programs, scholarships, after-school programming, and through its grant program, support to other youth-based organizations. Mr. Manning continues to maintain a strong relationship with the St. Vincent's Children's Hospital in Indianapolis, which in 2007 was renamed the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital at St. Vincent. Though his performance on the football field might suggest that Peyton Manning is always serious and determined, he's not afraid to show a sense of humor. He has hosted Saturday Night Live, filmed music videos that actually make me want to watch football on my phone, and even been called a succulent baby lamb by none other than Ron Burgundy. We are honored to have such a dynamic speaker with us today, who has not only sought excellence in his professional career, but has consistently lived with an external, service-minded focus through numerous charitable endeavors. Mr. Manning and his wife Ashley, a 1997 graduate of the McIntire School of Commerce, are certainly role models to members of our class. The work they do with younger generations will help these students be in our shoes one day as college graduates. Mr. Manning, on behalf of the class of 2014 and the University of Virginia, I would like to thank you for being here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Peyton Manning.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, distinguished platform party, friends, guests, and of course the focal point of today's event, the members of the class of 2014. I am truly humbled to be here today to help you celebrate this remarkable time in your lives. In trying to think about what I could say to you today, it started me reminiscing. While dating my wife Ashley, a 1997 UVA grad, I spent a good amount of time here in Charlottesville. My wife Ashley is the smartest person I know, and I know a lot of that has to do with her 4 years here at UVA. I like to tell people that Ashley came to Virginia because she couldn't get into Tennessee. While dating, we went to all the local spots here in Charlottesville. We loved to go to Little John's. Always ordered a Samson when I was there. Spent a lot of time at Coop's for a cold beverage or two. Went to Bodo's for breakfast a lot. Biltmore Grill for dinner. Bel Air. I worked out at Mem Gym a few times. Went and visited Ashley's old apartment yesterday on 15th Street and her house on Lewis Mountain Road that she shared with her Kappa sorority sisters. More than once, I often debated with Ashley whether a UVA football player, was he a redshirt sophomore or a redshirt second year? I was always very confused whether I was on grounds or off grounds. On campus, off campus. I attended her 1997 graduation right here on this very lawn. One regret that I've always had here is I never got to throw any football passes here on this lawn. So if you will indulge me, I'm going to fulfill that dream right now. And I'm going to call 3 of these graduating seniors to come catch a pass. So will David Enzi, Brendan Wynn, and Laura Gall please step right up here to the middle of this lawn. If you're nervous, I understand. So. Laura, you ready? Okay. Seriously, there is no pressure here at all. If you drop it, it will not be on YouTube, I promise you. So, all right, Laura's up first. All right, Laura, you ready? Here we go, right there. Nice, easy pass. There you go. All right. Perfect. Still need David Enzi and Brendan Wynn. Come on down. So, Brendan, right here. Here we go. Back up a little bit, Brendan. Let's make this a little harder. Back up a little bit harder. So. Perfect. So. guess Brendan maybe did get a little nervous, so. Actually, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Okay. Perfect. Oh, is that? Give me that ball back. Is that Brendan? Perfect. All right. I hope you will notice how nice I was to those people catching those passes. People think that I only yell at kids throwing passes like I did hosting Saturday Night Live on that United Way skit. And I got a lot of letters from a number of mothers and grandmothers that were disappointed that I was throwing the passes so hard at their kids. Said they were watching Saturday Night Live with their 9-year-old and they were disappointed in me. And I wrote them back and I said, why is your 9-year-old watching Saturday Night Live? All of those kids in that skit were child actors and their parents were there the entire time. And the director said, Peyton, the only way this is going to work is you have to hit these kids right in the head. You have to hit them in the head. And I felt nervous doing that, but I felt better when, no lie, I heard one of the parents yelling at the director, I want him to hit my kid in the face. In all seriousness, I wanted my comments today to somehow match your collective intellect, the grandeur of the occasion. While searching for connections, I discovered that UVA's president in 1906, Edwin Alderman, was an avid football fan. Alderman advocated for the sport in part because of the character traits it teaches. He said a boy, quote, can't successfully play football without self-denial, self-restraint, resoluteness, patience, loyalty to a cause, and a distinct form of unselfishness. I would also add a big offensive line and fast receivers. Football is my profession, my workplace, a field with very clear boundaries, very strict rules, and almost zero margin for error. But the choices in front of each of you are only as restrictive as you allow them to be. Before you walk across that stage tomorrow, close your eyes for just a minute and imagine that you're facing the San Andreas fault line. As you reach out for your diploma, envision standing on one side of a ridge that literally runs north and south for more than 800 miles. Once you leap to the other side, nothing will be quite the same. If you're at all timid and the anticipated leap is a frightening prospect, then your instinct for self-preservation may freeze you in one place. But if you've really listened to and digested the lessons of your professors over the last few years, I promise you that the exhilaration of what's on the other side will far outweigh the risk. What are you leaping towards? If you haven't already accepted an offer, finding a job or career will undoubtedly be your target. And if your parents are on your butt, it better be soon. If you already have a position, then the challenge will be to learn how to stand out and fit in at the same time. Either way, you'll land in a better place if you're honest with yourself. Do a self-check of your aspirations. Challenge your motivations and refuse to wallow. Don't wallow in your lack of thrilling choices or once you're there and why your new colleagues don't appreciate the remarkable insight you have to offer. You will be a rookie again, a freshman, a first year, if you will. I learned a valuable lesson when I was a freshman at Tennessee that I applied to my first year on the job in the NFL. It was the first time I ran into the huddle as a quarterback at Tennessee. We were playing up at UCLA in the Rose Bowl, 95,000 people in the stands, ABC broadcasting the game on national television, Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy. Tennessee was ranked 9th in the country. UCLA was unranked, expected to be a blowout. I was third team on the depth chart, not expecting to play the entire game, much less the entire season. On the 7th play of the game, our starting quarterback tears his knee. He's out for the year. Our backup quarterback was a guy named Todd Helton, who went on to have an 18-year Major League Baseball career. Let's just say Todd was kind of thinking about that baseball signing bonus he was about to get. He wasn't real crazy about going into the game. So we're getting beat 21-0. My coach turns to me and says, "Peyton, you're going in." And boy, I didn't think I was nervous. I looked down and all the hair on my arms was just sticking straight up. So I'm jogging into that huddle, and I remember something that my dad had told me. He said, "Son, if you ever get into the huddle with the starters at any point in the season, it may be in the 4th quarter of a blowout, it may be just in practice, it doesn't matter. You be the leader and you take control of that huddle. That's your job as the quarterback. You're just 18 years old. Most of these seniors are 21, 22. It doesn't matter. Be the leader and take control of that huddle." So I remembered old Dad's advice, and I get into that huddle. And I said, "All right, guys, I know I'm just a freshman, but I could take us down the field right now, get us a touchdown, get us back in this game. Let's go." Big left tackle, guy named Jason Lehman, about 6'5", 330 pounds, grabs me by the shoulder and says, "Hey, freshman, shut the blank up and call the blank and play." And I said, "Yes, sir." That was really great advice from my dad. I really appreciate that. Some people who never made the leap across that fault themselves will tell you that today is the divide between childhood and adulthood, between fantasy and the real world. They'll tell you it's time to get serious because the real world is a cruel place, one in which you need to play by adult rules. Well, I disagree. If the real world isn't kind to newcomers, then it's because the people in it have chosen to be unkind. You and your future coworkers have the ability to change that. More than half of the world's population is under 30 years old. There are so many of you earning a diploma from the universities of Virginia, Tennessee, Texas, Michigan, UCLA, and others, that the sheer number of you creates a gigantic opportunity to change the workplace as we know it. Shake it up. Be the ones to throw open the shutters and let a little fresh air in. And while you're at it, make the workplace a more civil place to be. You have the power to influence change in so many ways that have never existed before. Make kindness a priority, not a blurred line. There are some people who will criticize your generation's altruism as childlike fantasy, yet you're the generation that can put ethics and values back in vogue again. You're the generation that can challenge leaders in business, government, and other professions to make decisions based not solely on the bottom line, but also on what's good for your community and others halfway around the globe. I challenge you. Challenge you. Show the world by your actions that you understand where the real sustainable value is. I'll paraphrase your founder, Thomas Jefferson, who said, if you want to know who you are, don't ask, act. Action, he said, will delineate and define you. Titans of industry and government understand that the world looks and works different for you than it does for them. And they know that you're not shy about making those differences public. They may not be sure how best to align your world with theirs, but they know they need to incorporate your ideas into their decision-making. Studies indicate that the public has lost trust in authority, driving people to turn to their peers for recommendations on where and how they should spend their money and time, even for something as simple as buying a football ticket to a game or something as major as buying a home. In some ways, you've actually become more influential with the masses than those who are in charge. The people who are in charge certainly don't have all the answers, so don't let expertise silence you. Work to find new solutions to old problems. Think outside of the parameters that restrict other people's thoughts. Just because you're a novice on the job, just because you haven't faced the same challenges, just because you haven't climbed the same cliffs, doesn't mean that you can't contribute to solutions in very significant ways. When you're chided for your naivete, and you will be, remind your critics that an amateur built the Ark, experts built the Titanic. And when you're working through problems and thinking, what if, don't cloud your mind with too much information. Some call it information glut, data smog. I call it too much stuff. All that interconnectivity and networking that you do can actually cloud your decision making. You can be spinning a wheel like a caged hamster, going nowhere. And on a whole, we've become cultivated with an insatiable appetite for information. We want more of it, and we demand that it be in our hands faster than ever. And I am no different. While your generation, I'm told, rarely uses email unless you're forced to, I'm told that the average teenager sends 6 messages for every waking hour, with an average response time of 90 seconds or less. There's an abundance of information at our fingertips, and with the appropriate filters to sift through it, the overload often leads to anxiety and even paralysis in our decision making. You are about to run through the tunnel onto an enormous field of uncertainty. Your 4 years here in Charlottesville have prepared you better than most, but unfortunately, that's probably not enough for some of the fierce opponents that you're going to face in the years ahead. As an NFL quarterback, hard hits are part of the game. People often ask me, Peyton, who has hit you the hardest? And the answer is a guy named Ray Lewis, who played for the Baltimore Ravens. And Ray, he's a very friendly guy. When he hits you, he likes to kind of drive you into the ground and kind of likes to use you to help him get up. And always whispering something like, I'll be back here in a couple of minutes, punk. Very, very friendly. Sarah mentioned all those Pro Bowls I was fortunate to play in. Well, I played on the AFC, and Ray Lewis was also on the AFC, and I spent that whole week buying Ray's dinner, his drinks. I bought him golf clubs one year, hoping he might soften the blow come the fall, and he never seemed to remember. Hard hits or not, I don't believe there's any way to over-prepare for your future. Have a formidable plan, have a backup plan, and have a backup to your backup plan. My preparation begins by watching game tape of our team and competitors. It helps me put the pieces of the puzzle together. Years ago, I had a system put in my house where I could analyze every game, every competitor, without having to go into the team's practice facility. So if you ask me how long do I watch game film to prepare, I couldn't tell you because I've never kept a clock. I just watch until I feel ready. I watch and I prepare. I can actually get lost in the intense focus of figuring things out that others may never even look at. If you really want to be a game changer out there, become a master observer. Just the willingness to stop and look at things that no one else has even bothered to look at enables game changers to identify real points of meaning. The simple process of focusing on things that are normally taken for granted can be a source of great power and creativity. I'm a naturally curious person. I want to know and thoroughly understand things. We learn when we observe. We pick up on clues. We figure things out. That is what preparation is all about. In the Broncos offense, we have a play called attack. We run it to catch our opponents off guard when they are trying to substitute defensive players on the field. Plan A is never enough when the competition wants to win as badly as you do. And here's one last reason for being ultimately prepared. Relevancy has a deadline. If you can figure something out before the pressure is turned on, before the scrutiny burns hot, your options will be clearer, you'll be able to respond faster, and you're more likely to bend and not break in the process. And when you or someone you care about breaks, be prepared to reach up and bend down. Reach up to stretch yourself and your dreams even more, and bend down to offer a hand or whisper a word of encouragement. Discover your own way of reaching up and bending down. Find a cause that you're passionate about and indulge in giving back. Give your time, your money, or your talent. Everybody has the same 24 hours to live out a day in their lives. The question is, what will you do with your 24 hours? Today, tomorrow, or the next? I challenge you to make each of those 24 hours of impact. You are about to embark on the most monumental, awesome adventure of your life to date. Do yourself a favor. Get comfortable with silence. When you do, the important moments will seem louder. Close your eyes once in a while, and I promise you that you will see the important things clearer. And every now and then, let go of that tight grip that you have on your goals. When you do, it will be easier to enjoy the journey. Because believe me when I say, those audacious goals that you have will still be there. Congratulations to all of you. Good luck to you. God bless you, and wahoo wah.
Are you ready to graduate? That's the question all of us have been asked over this past semester. And if not this past semester, then at least over the past few days. And if you're like me, I dreaded this question. How am I supposed to answer that? If I say no, I'm denying the inevitable. Whether we like it or not, we're walking down the lawn tomorrow and will become University of Virginia graduates. Now, if I say yes, then it would just be a weak attempt to hide the truth. I believe the real answer for most of us is that we do not want to graduate, but we are ready to graduate. We are prepared to graduate. We are worried about the uncertainty of leaving this place. We are nervous about the prospect of living on our own, moving to a new city, meeting new friends, starting a new job, or even starting at a different school. We may have apprehension of leaving a place where we created the foundations for lifelong friendships, a place where we've acquired knowledge that will follow us forever, and a place where we had the opportunity to learn a lot about ourselves. I think it's perfectly natural for us not to want to graduate. But when asked, are you ready to graduate, all of us, by attending this institution, are absolutely ready. Class of 2014, we've had a great run. We've left our footprint on this university and have created memories that will last a lifetime. We've had a lot of fun here over our 4 years. Our class rushed the field 3 times at Scott Stadium after huge Virginia wins. We lit up the lawn to the tune of all of the lights. And someone might need to fact check me on this one, but I'm pretty sure it's the first rave ever on a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We got behind a basketball team that won an ACC championship and made this town college hoops craze deep into March. We sang the good old song on countless occasions. We enjoyed our snow days and even a hurricane day. We enjoyed a few horse races just up the road, and we even went to the beach together to celebrate the end of the year. We've admired the lawn and the rotunda during the day, and some of us may have admired it again later that night, but this time just a little bit less clothed. Those are some of the good times we'll remember when we look back at our time here at the university. But more importantly, we have impacted this university. We have left our mark on this place forever. We came here to grounds the same time a new president was being welcomed to Mr. Jefferson's University, and just under 2 years later, we welcomed her back when we made our voices heard. We participated in a debate about what honor will look like this university, and we helped pass reform. We raised our concerns about the future of access to UVA, and I'm proud to say we set a precedent of class-giving participation that will aid the university in funding its future endeavors. More importantly, though, every one of us has impacted UVA on an individual level. Some of us have done research in the university labs. Some of us have championed an initiative in our favorite organization around grounds. Others have volunteered through Madison House, and some of us have worked in the community garden. All of us have participated in discussions, not only shaping our own learning, but also the learning of those around us. We all made an impact on this institution and the lives of those around us every day we step foot on this academic village. It is clear we've impacted this university, but I also believe the university has deeply impacted each and every one of us. We all had unique paths and unique experiences here, but all of us had a collective UVA experience that has shaped who we are today. The lessons and values instilled by this collective experience are what have prepared us to leave this special place. I'm willing to bet that every single one of us in the class of 2014 has faced real adversity while here. And for some of us, it may have been the first time in our entire lives. It is part of our collective experience. Everything at this university is a challenge. Not only are the academics rigorous, but the competition outside the classroom is just as tough, if not tougher. This is a university where you need to try out to be a tour guide, or a member of the University Judiciary Committee, or even as a competing member for any of our highly successful club sports teams. Every organization, in one form or another, makes you prove yourself to excel. Nothing is handed to you here. You have to earn it for yourself. I would also be willing to bet, though, that every one of us in the class of 2014 bounced back from that adversity and is better for it. By persisting, persevering, and working harder, we ultimately succeeded in our endeavors. We learned how to face adversity in other aspects of our life and overcome life's many inevitable obstacles. It taught us how to learn from our mistakes. Virginia makes its students resilient, which will allow us to constantly take risks on our way to reaching our life's goals, because we'll always have the confidence knowing that we've overcome adversity before. Another collective experience we've had at Mr. Jefferson's University is leadership. It's come in many different forms. It doesn't have to come from chairing an organization you're involved in. It could have been from influencing your group in a group project, or coordinating volunteers, or even giving advice to a friend. Student self-governance comes in many different forms around grounds, but prepares us to influence others in the future and become the great leaders of tomorrow. We've experienced and learned what honor is while at UVA. We've pledged our assignments, and we've upheld the ideal that there's no place for lying, cheating, or stealing at this university. We'll be able to make the hard choices when confronted with moral ambiguity in the future, because we embraced a core set of ethics, value, and integrity the moment we made that unique pledge 4 years ago. This will undoubtedly make us better people throughout our lives. Finally, this university has given us knowledge. We've earned this ourselves through late nights at Clement and Alderman, and even through our daily interactions with our peers. But this is truly the most important lesson of them all, because as Thomas Jefferson said, knowledge is power, knowledge is safety, and knowledge is happiness. And I cannot think of any greater gift to ensure we are ready for our time as Wahoo alum. So as I circle back to the original question, are you ready to graduate? I do not want to graduate, and I'm pretty sure you don't either, because for all the challenges we've endured, we've had the time of our lives here these past 4 years. But yes, we are ready to graduate. Our collective University of Virginia experience has ensured this. Our experiences with resiliency, leadership, honor, and knowledge have equipped us with the tools to be confident as we move into the unknown. As we walk down the lawn tomorrow, we can throw our worries to the side. It will be okay to say farewell to this place, because Virginia has prepared us for our lives ahead. The class of 2014 will be ready to impact the world, just as we have at UVA, and that surely will be quite the sight to be seen. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2014.